Hey everyone, Gage Ryan here to showcase my Gravekeeper deck. So this is actually like as pure of a Gravekeeper list as you can get with the way that the current game is. So we're not playing cards like Heretic, we're not playing cards like Spy, we're not playing these cards that just don't really add a lot of value. I mean, you can't just set Spy and pass and hope for the best. You're going to get OTK'd probably. So that's why we have a very core Gravekeeper lineup, cards that work with it, and then just general stun monsters that I think help the deck. So that's kind of the route that I was going with the deck. Also to be versatile and to not just get shut down by one thing, I think was also important. So I'm going to try and go into as much detail as I can, and hopefully you enjoy the video. So let's get right into it. So you got 3 Commandant, 3 Recruiter, 3 Spiritualist. So these are all cards that give you value. Obviously, Commandant gives you Necro. Recruiter, every time it dies, it gets you something else. It gets you a Commandant, it gets you a Spiritualist, whatever have you. You can just kind of keep going, floating with Recruiter until you run out of them, too. I mean, that's never really been a bad play in the game. So Recruiter is good, and also works with another card that I'll get to in a minute. And then Spiritualist, which isn't the best, but it is definitely the best of the bunch right now. But just having one isn't good. It's an A and B card. You need another Gravekeeper to go with it. So that's why you max out on it. And even if you do if you open like Fenrir plus Spiritualist, like you're still fine. You have Fenrir. So then to go with that thinking, you have 3 Fenrir. I mean, Fenrir is amazing. It's like borderline an anti-meta staple nowadays. I mean, great in the battle phase, adds another copy of itself, or another Kshtira monster. You can play a pure deck of that. Got double Dyna. I mean, just everything in the game right now is just special summon out of its asshole, unless you're playing Eldritch or Flunder. Like, that's about it. So, I mean, like, Fossil Dyna, it's kind of hard to go wrong with the card nowadays. And, I mean, if you have this card, your opponent can't respond to it, you probably win. So you got double Border, which is just great standalone card. I mean, sometimes you summon Border, play Necro Valley, and your opponent just can't play. You know, your most iffy matchup is Flunder because Necro Valley isn't effective, so Border is a great option that you can kind of lean on in that matchup. So then 1 Silent Magician, which seems like an odd choice, right? But the thing is, it works really well with Recruiter. And so for those times, like, you could have a bad hand where you have just Recruiter and Silent Magician and no other way to get to Necro Valley. And so you go Recruiter, go Silent Magician, go Commandant Necro Valley. And now you have Necro Valley and a once per turn spell negation. And not to mention that Silent Magician gains attack. So it can be like kind of like a mini boss monster sometimes. I have actually won games just by keeping cards in hand and negating spells with Silent Magician. So it's actually not a bad card. I would actually recommend you trying it if you're interested. And like again, it works really well with Recruiter. That's the main thing you use it with. So that's why you play 1. So then to close out the monsters, 3 Ash. I mean, it's just the most versatile hand trap. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I think it's good. So then onto the spells, you got triple Necro, staple, triple Throne, staple. You got double Prosperity, double Desires. You never really want to activate both Prosperities. I mean, you do it if you have to, like if you're in a pinch. But that's why you play 2, is because you want to max out on that. You don't ever want to get to the situation where you have the 3rd or anything like that. And then double Desires, which is just good. I mean, like, you play 3 of pretty much every power card in the deck, so there's no reason not to play Desires in a deck like this. So then 1 Moon Mirror Shield pairs really well with your stun monsters. You know, it's also like halfway decent with Esper if you can pair that with it, so it's not bad. And then Terraforming, pretty much staple. Onto the traps, you got 6 Solemns, you know, and Strike's really good. You know, it even helps with first turn field sometimes. And God Says No is just a great, solid answer to Twin Twisties and all that other, you know, stupid shit. Yeah, double Dogmatic of Punishment, one of the best trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Works really well with Natis for a pop 2. Y'all know what it does. 1 Imperial Tombs. You never want to go more than 1 in a deck like this where you're not playing a mass amount of Gravekeepers. So that's why just 1. And then 1 Metaverse. Like, it makes Necro Valley a trap card. I mean, it's good. Like, if you have Necro Valley and Metaverse and your opponent, like, goes Twin Twister and hits both, you chain Metaverse, put Necro on play, and you didn't really lose anything. Like, you kind of went even at face value, but you kind of didn't, you know? So I like the 1 Metaverse. I mean, like, it does help out in a pinch. Like, if you go like Recruiter and Silent Magician, but you have Metaverse, then you can search for something else if you want to, and then use Metaverse as the Necro Valley trap card thing I mentioned. That's it for main. Onto the extra. You got 2 Esper, obvious. You got Time Thief Redoer and Dweller, which are my only 4s, because you don't really go into 4s very much, but they're just good utilities to have. You got the 1 Link 1, the 1 Link 2, the 1 Link 3, because you're not really linking very much in this deck either. Onto the Super Poly targets, you got Starving Venom, Mud Dragon, Garura. All very good cards. You should probably play Duplexer Chimera. I just haven't found room for it yet, but we'll see what happens. So then double Natis, it's pop 2. Everyone knows what it does. And then your Waking the Dragon targets are Ultimate Falcon, Last Warrior from Another Planet, and Naturia Beast, which I actually did use earlier today in a match against Flunder, and it won me the game, because I had Border in play, and he went, Lightning Storm or whatever, and hit all my back row, and I got to resolve Waking the Dragon. And I was going to bring out Last Warrior from Another Planet, and I just kind of... I had a feeling that he had something else, and so I brought out Naturia Beast instead, and it turns out that he had Raigeki in hand. So I used Naturia Beast, used the one effect I had because of Border, and negated the Raigeki, and that won the game because he couldn't get Border off the field in time. So Naturia Beast, good card. On to the side deck, you got Triple Thunder King. Again, Flunder is a very annoying deck, very scary deck, and so you have Thunder King Ryo, Inspect Border, random cards like Silent Magician and Solemn Strike. I mean, you do your best to neutralize that matchup. Fenrir is also pretty good in that matchup if you can play it at the right time. Third Border, again, same reason. I mean, just if you have to go, like, strap your helmet on and go Necro Valley Border, then you do what you have to win the game. Pankratops, amazing card. One of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion. Triple Super Poly, just a great way to break first turn fields. Like, I would never feel comfortable having a deck nowadays and not having Super Poly in the main or side. It's just too good of an answer. Yeah, double Dark Ruler. So I actually consider cutting maybe both of these for a second Cosmic Cyclone and a copy of Dark Bribe in the side deck for when you go first. But right now it's 2 Dark Rulers because going second is a bit of a weakness for stun decks, so you do have to play answers when you can. So then the 1 Cosmic and the 1 Feather Duster. I don't know what the deal is, but anytime that I side multiple Cosmic Cyclones, I just hate it, and I draw them at the wrong times, or I'll open 2 of them, and my opponent doesn't play any spell or trap cards. It's just like, I don't know what the deal is. This card does not like me, man. So right now it's just 1, and it actually feels like it works a lot better because it's like a utility that you draw as opposed to like dedicating multiple spots to the deck, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it only makes sense to me, but that's what I'm going with for now. And like I said, Feather Duster, which is amazing. And then Triple Waking the Dragon, which with a lot of stun decks, I think you need this card. Main deck, side deck, main deck, side deck, that's really your choice. But like Waking the Dragon it's so good. Like Lightning Strike is everywhere, Twin Twister's everywhere, Feather Duster's everywhere, and for some reason, every motherfucker opens Feather Duster against me. So Waking the Dragon just almost feels like a staple, at least for stun. So that's why I got them in here, and it's really good. I mean, like I said, your opponent goes Feather Duster, and you drop like Last Warrior from Another Planet against Flunderies. They're not playing the game. So that's about it for the Gravekeeper deck. I've really been wanting to profile a relatively pure GK list, but I just haven't been able to put one together that I've liked enough to profile, and here I have one for you. So I really hope you all enjoyed it. If there's anything you changed, anything I missed, be sure to leave a comment, and I'll see you soon.